Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy MumboElite. Welcome back to another video. And today we are going to go over the bronze pack method in more specific terms. I'm going to go over how I would recommend using the bronze pack method, which is more of a long-term investment slash play with league SBCs, bronze upgrades, daily SBCs, marquee matchups, you name it. We're going to show you how to do this in bulk and make sure you're doing well with it. We'll go over if you can make profit on these, how much profit can you make, should you treat it like a trading tip, what's a good investment in this, what's not a good investment, what should I put in bronze upgrades, what should I keep. We're going to go over all that. So if you do enjoy, smack that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's get it. So first and foremost, if you're completely new and you have no idea what bronze pack method is or what a bronze pack is, bronze packs are these items here, the premium bronze pack, 750 coins for 12 items, 3 rares. Back in the day, years ago, we used to have a 400 coin one that was 1 rare but 12 items, and you would almost guaranteed make profit on every single pack really quickly with the amount of league SBCs we had and the amount of league SBC cards that had value. Now, it's a little bit different, and we're going to go over that. But first and foremost, let's open this pack and show you where this value comes from. So again, I'm showing you this long term. We're not looking for a pack to pack to sell things quickly. That might seem like a good idea, but you'll see very quickly how that will slow you down. So first and foremost, first pack we open up, first thing I see, we got a Libertadores card. How much are Libertadores cards going for? Looks like 1,400 coins. Obviously, this isn't going to happen every single pack, but I essentially just doubled our coins. Another good way to look at this is the next 2 packs I open up, it's kind of completely paid for with this single card alone. So you can see very quickly how if I did these in bulk, and I got a ton of these, you'd get additional value. Again, obviously that's not going to be every pack, but that's a good example of a league SBC card. They're no longer in the mixed league, but you can use them in the premium. Now, we got a bunch of kits, badges, things like that. If you want to sit here and check every single price on some stuff, if you listed these in bulk enough, these would eventually sell, especially if you look on Twitter. There's a bunch of people who post stuff that is currently up. These used to have like minimum buy nows like 5K. So you could sell things that were extinct for thousands of coins. Now it's moved down where a lot of these have the 300 buy now range. But that stuff adds up over time. And again, if you're selling these all in the front end, you could make profit per one. Like even if the lib didn't go crazy in price right now, but I just listed the 3 players we had for 200 coins a piece. Whether or not they sold quickly, they would all eventually sell for 200 coins or a 150 bid. If we then quick sold the rest of this stuff, look at the value of that. Over 300 coins there, plus the 600 coins of players, we would be at profit in this single pack alone. However, it's not always the case that these will sell quickly. If you're spamming BPM in bulk, you're going to have a full transfer list, and you're going to have a bunch of stuff that you're not able to list yet. You're going to have to store in your club, and it's going to take forever to relist those cards, especially if they're not league SBCs, where you can see the values there, but you're not necessarily going to see the coins from it right away. We're going to look to see if the manager goes for anything. He doesn't. We'll quick sell him. These 2 we're going to store in the club. This is an MLS player. Even though he's in a league SBC for the mixed league, his rating's not high enough to really get use. I could most likely list him for 200 coins and he'd eventually sell, but we're going to chuck that in the club with Singh. Now, with this, what you're going to notice is if that lib card doesn't sell right away, and I have that quick sell value and I have the cards I listed in my club, if I'm not selling things instantly, my coins will be going down. That doesn't necessarily correlate with you losing coins. If you start bronze pack method with, let's say, less than 25K and you're really opening up bronze packs, you might notice you're in an area where it's like, hey, these things aren't selling quick enough. Am I going to lose coins here? I might be in trouble. Again, you're not really losing the coins. They're going to be good for you down the line in the different grinds we're going to show you. But to make up those coins in the meantime on the front end, if you want to make sure you don't hit 0, I would say to really benefit from this method, you want to have at least 50 to 100K. If you don't have any coins and you want to work your way up or you struggle to stay above that, we have a trading tip playlist I'm going to put in the description. Highly recommend you watch those. And also, too, another way to look at this is if you wanted to chuck those items in your club, the things that go for value now, sell them. And then the rest that you want to wait till later or want to figure out what the rest of the grind should be, you can just quick sell this other stuff. Do my trading tips on the side. If you're making a few hundred coins per card that you're listing on the transfer list with my trading methods, you're kind of paying for the front end of this pack, the difference in terms of coins that you're quick selling versus what you're opening the cost is, things that you're selling now, the things that you're maybe waiting later to sell, so that your coins kind of stabilize and stay relatively the same. Maybe they go down a little bit slower, or if you're doing enough trading, maybe your coins are going up as you're spamming unlimited bronze packs. There's a ton of different directions you can go with this. That's kind of like my first kind of real tip to start this grind if you're really wanting to go in bulk. League 1 is a League SBC card for the premium mix. We're going to put that in. Here's a Saudi League card. We could use this for the mixed league if we wanted to, but a lot of people are buying out the bronzes, so that will go for 200 coins. So again, this pack, we're getting a lot of the coins back. The quick sell value is already good. We're listing cards on the market. We're going to get the coins back, but over time too, we don't need to sell these other things. If this isn't going to sell quickly and we want to put it in the club, we can start putting those off-league cards into bronze upgrades. Now, what is an off-league card? For me, an off-league card is things that aren't League SBCs. What are League SBCs? They are the Mixed League Upgrade and the Premium Mixed League Upgrade. So if we're looking at this, you can take a look. You can screenshot this if you've never seen them before. These are the SBC sections. These are the leagues you want to avoid putting in the bronze upgrade. If it's something outside of that, I would stick it in the bronze upgrade. And if you have 11 of those bronzes, you make a 2-player pack that has 2 silver players. One's a rare, one's a common. A lot of the times, almost every single one of these you open, you'll most likely get a League SBC card of some sort. What is that good for? If you're doing these in here, for example, let's say you get yourself a Saudi League card. On top of that, maybe let's say you're putting some of those Saudi League bronzes in your club, but you're getting some of those silvers untradeable. You could be working towards a small prime silvers pack tradable that you could then open up. And let's say you start getting Lib and Sud cards in here, the Libertadores and Sudamericana. Every time you pack one of those tradable, right now they're going for about 1,500 plus coins. So that alone would net you a lot of good money that came from untradeable players. That is the value of turning these into bronze upgrades with your off leagues and slowly making more and more of these over time. It's not necessarily turning your bronze tradable into selling it to the market for liquid coins always. It can be more of this grind where you're making additional packs in the meantime. You're doing additional grind where maybe you're packing promo cards. You could get a team of the week in here. We talked about the 3 bronzes that are team of the weeks. If there's a silver base that is in packs and is a team of the week, you could get a tradable silver team of the week in here that's worth 15K, and boom, you just made a ton of coins there. You also have things like marquee matchups. You have other daily SBCs. If we go to marquee matchups right now, all of these packs are tradable. If we look here, this first one, Lyon versus PSG, you need a minimum of 3 silver players, which means you can use bronzes for the rest of the section. If you chuck a bunch of bronzes or untradeable silvers into this SBC, you get an election players pack tradable. Liquid coins, turning untradables or things that aren't really selling into valuable coins on the market. And marquee matchups comes every week. Eventually, we won't be able to use bronzes anymore, but those bronze upgrades that you're doing to get silvers untradeable, usually you'll still be able to use silvers in all these other sections, will add up over time. Again, turning untradeable players into liquid coins. That works with daily SBCs too. So if you see other challenge SBCs come in, Become a Knight came in the other day. If we go into here, you needed England, at least 1 player, 80 rated team. If you're starting to do League SBCs and you get a bunch of untradeable gold commons, this would be a good place to do them. If you're doing your daily bronze, daily silver, daily gold SBC, which everyone should be doing, if it's still out by the time you're watching this, those are going to be other cards untradeable that you'll be able to put in things. For this, you get a small election players pack tradable. Again, tradable pack for untradeable cards to put in. And you get a Lone Beckham. If you want to use them in a game mode that's a friendly, you'll never run out of contracts with them. You'll be able to have him for the rest of the game. Also, in the upgrade section, you might get things like that to pop up too. If another SBC comes out and there's potentially a tradable pack, if you go to the player section, you start getting fodder over the time with League SBCs. You could do, let's say, I don't know if Park Ji-sung's a good example. Maybe he is. Let's say you get a Team of the Week untradeable from League SBCs. You're spamming BPM. You're doing the Mixed League upgrade. Again, if you want to see our League SBC videos, I'll link both of those in the description, both the Mixed League grind and the Premium Mix. Let's say you get a Team of the Week untradeable and you're getting a bunch of 82s and 83s. If you put them in this section because they don't fit League SBCs, let's say they're the woman cards and you put them in here just to get rid of them, you would get a gold pack tradable. Obviously, gold pack's not going to be the most coins in the world, but we're turning untradeable cards into more coins. Again, you don't necessarily see it directly from the 750 coins you open from the bronze pack, but you see where the value comes from over time. And I'm going to say that over and over and over. The reason I'm showing you these things and the reason I'm saying these things is for one important reason. We recommend you do bronze pack method in extreme bulk. I've spent millions of coins on bronze packs this week. And you'll notice our coin total, if you've been on the stream, has stayed relatively similar. We've made some special card investments and stuff like that, so our coins have moved a little bit in that sense, but we've spammed in such bulk, and our coins have barely moved. And why is the reason for that? We've packed so many Lib and Sud cards. We've packed so many managers that go for at least a few hundred coins versus a few thousand coins like the American manager, the England manager. We get a bunch of League SBC cards that we're flipping for profit. We're doing hundreds. We're actually technically, I think we've done over 1,000 bronze upgrades this week. So think about how many League SBCs we've been able to do from that. Think about all the fodder we've been able to get from that over and over and over again. So even though you're not going to see me open 1 million bronze packs this stream, same thing applies. This in extreme bulk ends up benefiting you in the long run, even if you don't see crazy coins right away, or you don't see crazy packs or crazy fodder. This is a part of the machine. It's a line, assembly line. The initial stage is opening the bronze packs, spamming them in bulk, which helps you get those other areas. Again, if you're noticing your coins are going down faster than you'd want them to because you're not selling as many things on right away, or you're opening some packs and you're not getting the Lib and Suds, something like this, we get 3 cards that aren't League SBCs and a manager that's not going for much. If I consistently get packs like this, we're going to be able to make bronze upgrade packs faster, which if we're packing Lib and Suds that are worth 1.5 to 2K, we're getting good coins back on those. But for this pack alone, if I'm quick selling for 332 and it costs me 750 coins, that's over 400 coin difference I have to make up. And again, if I don't have many coins to begin with, I can understand and see where you guys are coming from. If you're low on coins, why you feel like this might not work or why you feel like you're going to run out. Again, the value's there. You sell things on eventually. You have to take it through the process. If you can't take it through that process, if you don't have the coins for it, do the trading tips on the side. Build up the coins. Take any of our trading tips. Go from, like, if you have 50K or less, get to 100K. Push yourself to 500K. Get to 1 million. Get yourself to a certain amount of coins where you could sit here and open thousands without feeling any sort of pressure that you're going to run out. Because what that allows you to do, it allows you to enjoy every single level of this grind. League SBCs, all the upgrade packs. We haven't even talked about the silvers of off leagues that you can put into the silver upgrade pack, which gets you gold commons. You could get a bunch of gold commons that are also team of the weeks. There could be promo cards that have a base gold common. There are some times, especially during like team of the season, there's a bunch of team of the seasons that are gold commons. You open up a silver upgrade, a bunch of untradeable silvers just got you a team of the season card. Boom. W. Then you take a bunch of those off leagues. If you get a bunch of gold commons and they're in leagues that aren't League SBCs, put them in a gold upgrade and get a 75 double. Or if during the time you're watching this, let's say there's a player pick out that only needs a bunch of gold commons, you put those gold commons in a player pick, boom. You hopefully get some fodder in that and have some fun with player picks. The grind is super easy, right? But it's not simple. Or is it the other way? I can't remember which way it's said. It's either it's easy but not simple, it's simple not easy, whatever. The idea of how to do this is pretty straightforward. What I will say becomes an issue later on is, again, the listing problem. You'll notice here, I have some bronzes listed. Got a bunch of bronzes that are Lib and Sud. Part of those we picked up on bid and are flipping for profit. Other ones are things that we've packed and we're listing back to the market. But you'll notice we also have other special cards. We have silver libs. We have, from the premium mixed league upgrade, the jumbo gold pack, the things that we're selling on from that. Where I'm going to differ a little bit from other people and where I might not technically have this be a part of bronze pack method, but make it a little bit easier on yourself, is if you're noticing, let's say you're using our special card method, and you're making close to 1,000 coins per special card, or at least a few hundred. Let's say you're using our silver Lib and Sud method. You're making a few hundred coins on these cards. And you're consistently able to pick these up and sell these for profit. time after time. It might be more beneficial for your transfer list to be filled with things like this, and you keep those bronze commons and those bronze rares in your club that are harder to sell. Maybe stick them in bronze upgrades. Give them some useful silvers potentially to put them through League SBCs. I know you might not want to send all those in. You might feel like you're wasting a little bit because that could eventually sell. But in bulk, the issue you're going to run into is there's so many things that you can make more coins on. If this can make you more profit than listing some of those bronzes over and over and over, you might notice this could be better for your grind. Again, this isn't directly associated with bronze pack method, but this definitely helps when it comes to the huge span. Obviously, the more coins you have, the more higher end things you can do. This logic applies. You could see it as, Mumbo, this isn't necessarily bronze pack method. This is more of a trading tip. Sure, this is a whole menu grind though. If you get to the point like we are, where you have millions of coins, which I hope everyone does, and I think everyone can, it's not easy to do. Or it's not that hard to do, I should say. It's pretty easy. It just takes time. You're kind of guilt-free when it comes to the menus then. You can sit there and spam over and over without feeling like you're ever at risk of running out. But with that being said, I completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. With that being said, we still want to be smart about it. We don't want to completely waste everything. A perfect example of this, last year we had at the beginning of November, I believe it was 2 weeks into November, we had our first icon player SBC. This year we have some icons, but they're in base icons. I don't know if we're going to get anytime soon any individual player that's an icon, but usually when we do, you have a full squad that's a bronze rare squad. You have a full squad that's a silver rare squad. What that's done in the past is very quickly it makes every bronze rare worth like 300 to 400 coins for a limited time. And the reason I say that is right now as we speak, I have about 1,000 bronze rares in my club. If I sold those all for 400 coins, we'd have 400,000 coins worth of bronze rares. Bare minimum. That's not even counting the Lib and Suds, the other League SBC cards that might have more additional value then. Those pop up too. Obviously, we're probably not going to be able to sell on 1,000, but that goes to show you when stuff comes out, when you react to kind of the content, you get those additional bonuses. There's times that we were talking about with like daily SBCs before with tradable packs. We were talking it more about the standpoint of like using untradables into those tradable sections. You'll also have it be the case where there's tradable bronzes you have in your club. This has happened so many times over the year already. I'm going to go to my media real quick to try to show you while we talk. But there's been so many times where there's random daily SBCs. And if one of the silvers you have or the bronzes you have becomes an SBC solution, they just shoot up crazy in value. So for example, here's a random goalkeeper that became worth 4.7K. And we had multiple. We packed multiple in BPM. Where's another example of this? There's another one that sold there. There's another one that sold there. We sold 3 of them, it looks like. Here's a Coleman that we got when we club stocked when silver rares were cheap, and he became super expensive. Obviously, this isn't BPM necessarily now, but this is showing you the power of SBC solutions through daily SBCs. Let's see if we can find some more. We had a bunch of special card flips that I was telling you about, a bunch of inform flips. Really nice there. This is when managers were super expensive. Now a lot of managers are super cheap. But we had managers that went crazy in price. Spam those in BPM, club stock. We made good coins on those. Even not high-end, mid-tier, we had a bunch of bronzes that were worth 150, 200. Here's a Bundesliga German. He was 600 coins. If every Bundesliga card became 400 plus coins, you have a club full of Bundesliga ones, like 50 of them, you could sell those all on for pure profit. And you're making more coins than you would if you're just opening BPM at the moment when it was up. That's another crucial thing with this method if you're thinking long term, is you don't want to look pack to pack. There's going to be times where all England cards, especially let's say England rares, are going to be super needed for an SBC. If that's the case, all those England cards are going to shoot to maybe 1,000 plus. And maybe you only have 10 in your club and you make really good coins on those. But if you're waiting until that comes out to spam BPM, to then hopefully pack those, it's going to be a lot harder to make those coins. You're going to treat it like a trading tip at the moment, but it's not going to work as well. Same thing applies to when I was telling you about the Icon SBC before with the bronze rares going to 400 coins. People hear that and they say, okay, I'm just going to wait to open bronze packs until bronze rares get to 400 coins. And then what do? They open a bronze pack. They get one bronze rare in there. No, let's say they get two. They get two bronze rares in there. So that's already 50 coins profit minimum on that pack. They quick sell everything else. Maybe store some of the players. Next one, they get one rare worth 400 coins. They quick sell the rest of the pack. Basically break even. They do that until the price of bronze rares goes back down because there's so much supply in the market. And the people who already did the icon section for the SBC of the full bronze rare squad no longer need it. The value's not there anymore. It goes back down. And then they stop doing bronze pack method because in their head, they're like, hey, it's not worth it anymore. Bronzes had value before. Now they don't. But there's a million other places on the market that bronzes currently have value. They're not realizing it. Another thing you can do with this sort of method, and this applies to more than just bronze packs, and this is where I differ a little bit from other people. I'm going to show you kind of some trading tips and stuff to do alongside of it, because whether you're trying to do League SBCs, whether you're just trying to do bronze packs, whether you're trying to save packs for Team of the Year, regardless of what it is you're doing, I don't care. Take whatever route you want. Take my advice if you want. Don't take my advice. I just want to show you some things that happens when I do these methods over time that allows us to make even more coins. Let's say we pack managers. We'll use France and Brazil as an example. There have been times where France and Brazil managers are both like 2.5k plus and occasionally extinct. They're now down in price again. If we go to the manager market and I look up French cards, let's look up France managers. If we go to 200 coins, they'll sell by the end of the hour for 200. That seems extremely cheap. We could pick those up for 150 on bid. If we don't have them in the club already, we could club stock one of each of them. And when those inevitably go back up, the other day they were all 400 plus coins. You have more than doubled your coins. You basically tripled them. Boom. GG. Very simple. Another thing you can do too, you can look at the potential league on it. So let's use Brazil as an example because it looks like, oh no, there's a ton of Brazilian ones here too. I was going to say, if you can get to the 59th minute pretty easily, this method works really well. But if you notice what the manager league is, for this guy, it's League 1. For this one, it's the Women's French League. I believe there might be an NWSL one. I know there's two Women's French Leagues. Maybe the NWSL one is the French cards. But you study these people's managers, and if you notice a manager that is from like the Bundesliga, the Prem, La Liga, one of the leagues that is not their base league, you can sell that on for a premium to the market. So as you see here, we just got Liga F. 59th minute, we got a Liga F. That's, I believe, really good. If we go right now, back to the transfer market, Stan Brazil, if we go to Liga F, what's the cheapest manager if someone wanted to buy a Brazilian Liga F manager? They are currently 800 coins. So I could list mine for maybe 700 to be the cheapest on the market, and boom, pure profit off of that. 500 coins within seconds of me going to the 59th minute and finding that card. Obviously, they're not going to pop up all the time, but a Prem one might pop up. And what if the Prem one bare minimum is 2K? You can make a bunch of coins on that. So again, that's another way you can make coins off these methods. We know Lib and Suds are up, right? Let's use Lib and Suds as the example now. So we're going to get off managers. Let's go to Lib and Suds. You're selling the Lib and Suds you're getting from the bronze pack, but you want to know how much these cards actually go for or which direction they're going. Let's look at their price right now. 1,300, they sell pretty quickly. 1,400 by the end of the hour. If we go to 1,200, is it almost instant? Yes. We know you need rares, and we know you need at least a 68 rating in the Lib and Sud section for the Premium Mixed League SBC. So if I would maybe try to snipe the higher rated ones, maybe like 62 to 64 rated, and in particular, if I can find the bronze rares, we might have these cards that have additional value above their current minimum buy now. So if these cards are already selling pretty quickly for 1,300, we're sniping the bronze rares for 1,200, and they're higher rated. That could be a card we sell for 1,500, and we're making 200 plus coins per card. Same thing applies to mass bidding. We can sit there and we can bid more. This one obviously isn't going to be worth too much more. But if we went to, let's say, bronze rares in particular, set on bronze rares, we looked here, there's a 1.2. If we pick this up, we could maybe flip it for 1,400, 1,500 by the end of the hour. Obviously, you probably want to have a better idea of what these go for before you do this in bulk. I'm obviously just showing you this in live time because these are things I've done in the past and it works. And if you time it right, when you know earlier in the day, maybe cards are cheaper in price, but as we go through new content and we get past new content, if there's less supply of these on the market and the price seems to be going up, you could also lazy list into that. So instead of making 200, 300 coins per card like we are right now, maybe I start listing for 1,600, 1,700. We push even more profit. Same thing applies to bidding. If we know these are going quickly for 1,300 and they go for 1,400 by the end of the hour, I could sit there and maybe bid 1,100 to 1,200 on lib cards. So we're going to try that real quick. If I go to bronze and I go to lib, we're going to do max price of 1.1 and we're going to bid up to 1.2. You'll notice there's basically a full page here with 0 bids on it. I could start bidding 150, and if no one saw this page, I could win these cards. We had people do this after new content the day the League SBCs came back out, and a bunch of people were winning cards for 150. Obviously, people catch on to that, and they outbid you, and it goes back to a standard price. But even then, if I just want to bid 1,100 on every single one of these cards, there's a good chance I could win these on bid. We already know they'll go mainly for 1,400 by the end of the hour. That's 300 coins before tax on each and every single one of these cards. You could use that as your trading tip that you just found out now as your method to make coins in the front end while you're spamming BPM to pay for you to put those cards in your club, to pay for you to start those bronze upgrades before you see those coins back in the League SBCs, in the daily SBCs, in those other areas. I'm hoping that's starting to make sense to you. If you have any questions with that, let me know. Again, that's just another method we're trying to show you of ways of understanding where this value comes from. Same thing goes with players as managers. There's times when they're low, there's times when they're high. Ask yourself the question why this might be. If you open a bronze pack and there's a random, let's say, Egyptian player that's worth 4K. The other day, people thought we were going to get an Egyptian SBC because the last Scream SBC, I don't know if it's still out here. No, the Scream thing went away, I think. Or no, Halloween Puzzle. People thought the Curse of the Pharaoh meant they're going to need an Egyptian card. So people invested in Egyptian cards. Obviously, there's not a bunch of bronze Egyptians, but they were all 2K plus. That would be something where if you would have seen this SBC in advance, or heard this might have been coming, or got on the game quickly and saw, hey, it looks like on the final SBC day for this, there's a thing called the Curse of the Pharaoh. If you put 2 and 2 together and thought, oh, maybe we need an Egyptian card, you could have gone the Egyptians when they were 150, 200 coins. Invested in a bunch of them, club stock them, maybe some silvers and golds too. And then when those went up in price, you sell them on a premium. It happened to be the case that you didn't need any Egyptian card. It wasn't in the requirement at all. And so people who sold before content made a bunch of coins. The people who sold after had them crash in price and lost some money. But if you're picking things up for cheap, it's stuff like that where it's like, hey, that's a really good idea. I'm trying to think if there's any other places I could mention in this video. I don't think there is. We'll make another one when we're talking about pill tools. If you want to see me spam bronze packs on pill tools, if you want to see how we set up League SBCs on pill tools, we'll make more videos on things like that. But yeah, it's essentially as simple as that, boys. Again, quickly go over it. Front end, you understand if you open a bronze pack and you're getting 3 to 4 players and a manager. If you're quick selling the rest of the stuff, you see where the value is in the players. Obviously, if you list them all in the front end, and what I mean by front end is listing things right away. If you list those all right away, you're going to be waiting for things to sell instead of waiting for things to go up or waiting until there's better times to sell. You're going to make more coins on the back end if you play that long game. But again, not everyone's going to have the coins for the long game. So if you're under 50K, if you're under 100K, if you're struggling to make coins, use any of our trading tips. Find one that's working with the market. By the time you watch it, get good at it, do it over and over, make tens of thousands of coins, make hundreds of thousands of coins. Do that and spam BPM while you're doing it. Make your bronze upgrades. Get into League SBCs. Enjoy whatever menu grind it is that you enjoy, if you enjoy it. If you hate this and you never want to touch bronze pack method again, or the menus again, and you want to stick to playing foot champs and getting 2 wins, do that too. I'm not going to judge you. But if you enjoy a grind that's a little bit different than ours, or you like what we're doing, but you want to build on it in a different way, if you want to say, hey, Mumbo, I appreciate this bronze pack method video. I watch your mixed league and I watch your premium. I know you push the premium. I think I'm going to stay mainly with the mix. Okay, spam BPM and do the mix. I might go another route. Someone else might go another route. We're all trying to find ways to enjoy this game, get a bunch of packs, make a bunch of coins in different ways. Whatever way works for you, man. That's going to be it. If you have any more questions for me, let me know down in the comments. Yeah, I'll see you later. It's been your boy MumboElite. I'm out. God bless.